the Marvels. Captain Marvel becomes an annihilator to stop Hollow since the Supreme Intelligence is messed up in her mind, which upsets Da-Benn, who is an officer such as Carol when she was Supreme Officer herself back in 1995. Due to Carol's actions, Da-Benn wanted revenge on her, and she didn't really find much other options to save anyone except go around the galaxy to find the Bangle to find a base to restore her planet. They have ships to go wars and use them to travel to other planets with the citizens and help them find them a home in case her solution doesn't work. Da-Benn finds one pair of the Bangle where she wants to mess up the jump points, which affects the other Bangle which Kamala has and affects her house, and affects Marka when she's in Saber doing a mission for them in outer space, and also affects Carol when she's trying to see the jump points, and later they face off with Da-Benn, the three ladies of Morpho, taking the Bangle away from her rather than focusing on how to stop the jump points because that's their priority first, and they can't do one without the other, which is understandable, so they also have Nick Fury to help guide them through all. This film was actually supposed to come out before Secret Invasion, so it makes sense why Fury wasn't the same as he was in that series. The idea of the ladies switching places is remarkable scientifically speaking. If it was consistent, I would have enjoyed it a little bit more because I was actually truly interested on learning more on this concept. I understand that the switching would have been so repetitive with the powers and it would have been a little much and tiresome. However, I feel like that was supposed to be the point. That was supposed to be exhausting for the Marvels to switch places to the point where they want to find Da-Benn to stop Da-Benn because they were supposed to feel exhausted with it, and they're supposed to overcome the challenge of them switching places over and over again. And the harder they individually concentrate on using their powers, it won't affect them, which is interesting. And until it doesn't, whenever they use the powers in a loose way, they switch. Tornats, which is the planet where the squirrels live in, there's a jump point where doorway is open to take the sun's energy and transfer it to Hala, which is a problem for the Marvels while Da-Benn is there destroying Tornats because Carol burned out the sun in Hala. In the ending of the first Captain Marvel film, she tells Jude Law's character that she will come for the Supreme Intelligence and end it, and it's payback for erasing her memories. The memory wipe shouldn't be an excuse for causing something that painful that will impact the planet. And she did this without thinking about the outcome for the citizens, and that's information that we got later in the film, so I'm not certain which I've seen her do that action. However, it's very important for us to see that information because we need to know how to sympathize with Carol when she realizes that what she's done is wrong. It's also important for us to have Da-Benn's perspective on this, which we have saw, and that's something that really starts her want to have revenge on her. However, Da-Benn has a hammer similar to Ronan's, and I'm not sure how it works. Seriously, the Power Stone that made Ronan's hammer work was powered because of the Power Stone. Yeah, this one doesn't have one, so now if it was powered by the Bangle, that could have made sense. Yet doesn't go that route. In the first Guardians of the Galaxy, the audience destroyed the hammer when they killed Ronan when they had the Power Stone, and the hammer was actually destroyed in the first one. It wasn't like a Power Stone fragment or anything that drove left anything that would have powered something else. So that's the same way where it just blasts people. However, this one doesn't kill people compared to the Power Stone one. The ladies were switching places throughout the beginning, and there's a point where Kamala just had her Miss Marvel suit on and then she didn't. That part was completely weird for me, and not sure what happened to the suit there. It's as if she changed clothes completely, and later in the film her mother doesn't question the suit. The suit her grandma made it for her. I understand that concern for the mom will be that her daughter is safe and sound after fighting in space, and the suit will be the last thing she will want to focus on. However, the audience will notice this, and she gets a new suit later with the other three ladies that I'll discuss it in a little bit. When the aliens who are attacking Kamala's house, not one neighbor or anyone within the community shows up on the doorstep to ask if they're alright. No one calls the cops or anything like that. They know Kamala is a hero within that city because in the end of Miss Marvel they put a community, yet there was no one around there, and Kamala was falling in the air and no one else except the main character saw what was happening. This will make Nick turn Kamala's family to space where the danger is likely to happen, so he wanted to keep an eye on them. Why not send them over to his sword to protect them all anywhere away from the danger? When planet Tornats got destroyed, and Carol had to point out that she could only save a few people, not everyone. But that Carol had tension between Carol and Kamala, yet doesn't. The fact that Kamala spent months in years analyzing Carol only to doubt her, see the actual true heroic side of her could have been remarkable for us to see and discover things about themselves and how to see the world, the missions, and each other that would have been appreciated by the audience more, and by having the characters have a depth conversation about down each other or even for a little bit of a bit of communication could have went a long way. Yet doesn't Kamala passes the moment up as if that moment never happened and goes back to fangirling later. A painful piece of the story doesn't get explored, which was something I was interested in seeing from Kamala's perspective. Them talking to each other who are maybe care for the reasons of being heroes and their characteristics, yet we see them mostly for the most most part, they feel like the same anyways. Carol doesn't care about Kamala doubting her for a little bit, and Kamala lets bygones be bygones. So something minor that it could have made me see Carol in different light, which I could have seen the points of who she is towards other characters, such as Kamala, who have been a small moment, yet nothing really happens except for Carol restoring Hala and the ending, which doesn't really satisfy for her that much anyways. Carol did ask for help after saving the squirrels, but Valkyrie shows up, which is understandable why she's there. However, the thing is, I don't know how, because no one in New Asgard knows how to open the Bifrost, and I don't believe it was the children they were trapped by Gore in the Thor film. So how she's able to grab the squirrels and go back with the Bifrost, that doesn't explain at all. Only revenge Da-Benn wants. It's not clear on what exactly she wants to do with Carol. Wants to destroy her, yes, but wow, there wasn't any tension or suspense of that. She won't impact her in any way. She won't have a struggle, suffer, feel pain. It feels like it's another MCU villain instead of an actual villain. It doesn't have an impact on Carol. At least with Ronan, that was somewhat challenging, presented towards the audience. It was mostly towards Drax and Star-Lord. And I did like seeing how they present Mark in this film. She was made to look like as if her and Kamala were one the same, and how they both idolized Carol, especially when they were seeing each other's minds with the scroll device, where the differences and how they see them. However, I believe that Mark see Carol definitely portrays actual history with her versus Kamala just being there with Carol. That was actually something to have been better with Mark and Carol, strengthen their bond together and have them work out their differences. It still doesn't change how I see the entire thing between Kamala and Carol, with the possibility of Kamala having doubts on Carol in the way she does things. Let's say Kamala tells someone about her doubts later in another MCU film. I believe doing it here would have been better, and since the doubts came from this film, and even though it happened for a little bit, it would have been something that was important to show here. Something similar happened between Kamala and Carol, where they could possibly communicate on how they see each other until that day happens. We have to wait and see if what will be said between those two. Carol mentioned the Bengal, which she refers to as the quantum band, similar when she saw how Shang-Chi's 10 rings were acting up, which means that the attempt to send a signal towards the quantum realm. Not much other details than that. At least that confirms the bands are tied with another MCU character within Phase 5 and also the quantum realm. Mark explains the energy when she broke jump points. Mark explains the energy within the jump points that connects other galaxies which are overloading the plans to do so. I actually love Photon's powers here. Her powers are interesting to me. The Skrulls had a device to help preserve Carol's memories, which Carol took, and now she's able to remember memories. So the three ladies use it all at the same time and individually, such as more than one. And Carol saw Marka's mom Maria doing the prelim since Marka that said, which is hard for Marka to see since this is all new information presented towards her. And also Kamala sees it as well. They do see if they find a way to stop the place switching, which is too much for Marka, so they stop. And then later on in the film they go to a planet called Atlanta where Carol is married and everyone sings. That didn't really bother me too much. I was okay with the singing, that place tried like Greece. Anyways, they wanted to protect the planet from Da-Benn. There was somewhat just take the water from that place. Just something that Marvel discovered on what happened next. And the thing is, they ended up in new suits, especially Kamala, as I told you that she fell, they got fed, and that planet had the materials and the fabric to make the free ladies a new suit that got tailored fit in all really quickly, and we don't even get to see it. And by it, I mean the process of how the suits were made. Just show up with the new suits as if they always had in that planet. That part was all. Not seeing that. Before that, Carol is dressed as a princess there, and she looked really decent. Like, don't get me wrong, she did look lovely there. And there was this, cats and Saber. They were eating people to help fly to have the emergency evacuation. This jump points was affecting the Saber as well, and then ended up in New York where literally one dude is in the ground having a picnic or something, and then the cats scare him since they're spraying out the Saber crew. Alright, so the Marvels fight Da-Benn, who ends up getting both vehicles and then goes to the jump point, which doesn't work for her, and dies similar to how Aisha died in Miss Marvel. I was concerned that would happen if Kamala has on both, and if she puts on both vehicles on eventually, and she's fighting someone or blocking an attack, and I'm afraid that should accidentally cause both vehicles to act up. It would have ended up being bad for Kamala, yet that doesn't happen. Both vehicles are destructive and perfect for Da-Benn, but it doesn't really affect Kamala. Why? Don't know. The place switching stopped because they ended up getting the vehicle, and which resulted in Mark getting trapped on the other side when she had to close the portal, and Kamala, I feel like she strode down on the other side. There's really no difference there. And then Kamala ends up going home or on space craft. Then Carol is on Hala reuniting the sun and survives. Let's rewind a bit. Carol and Mark had a past to discuss, which they communicated to the best of their abilities. However, it didn't feel complete, as if there wasn't really any resolution between them. It didn't feel rushed either. However, it seemed as if there was more stuff missing within this between those two. Even know what you think about that. There wasn't really any chemistry between Carol and Nick Fury. Similar to the first Captain Marvel film, this one didn't feel like Nick wanted to be there at all. And then we see that Kate Bishop shows up in the end, and she makes her big screen debut, which Kamala wants to recruit her for a superhero team, which Kate is on board. Then we see Mark on our side in laboratory where X-Men Space is there along with a woman who looks like Maria Rambeau that isn't her. And people who speak about the MCU films want these films to succeed. I want them to succeed as well, Sometimes they don't appreciate the direction Marvel has been because they feel like they fell off, They may blame the writers, producers on Marvel or Disney because they feel like they have a certain way or track record on how they vision every single one of the MCU projects. And the thinness of the audience, which includes the fans, that they actually ended up getting off the MCU train at some point. So then, because they believe that Marvel Studios lost their way in storytelling. You have the best actor, the best action, best VFX, or best style. It can only take you to projects so far. The following thing I'm gonna say is not just about the Marvels, it's more so the MCU. So keep that in mind. I will mention the Marvels here, since I'm reviewing it, how it's not only about the Marvels. So listen carefully. The reason why people go back and forth on the MCU's back or it's lost its way, flipping on their decisions, is because Marvel is listening to everyone except themselves. They one day want to please everyone. It ends up pleasing a small percent of the people who still care for their success. Yet at the same time, they're listening to everyone, even the people who shame them or tell them that tells the MCU that they're bad, and they want to please them as well. And that's not the way to focus on everyone that way. When Marvel Studios focus on themselves and take in charge on what they believe, that put them in the success in the first place with crafting and carrying and putting the story first above anything else, is what made us love them in the first place. In the forefront, the stories made them rise on top. We're seeing them make changes of our shows. Disney Plus, which sounds risky, yet I believe they're starting to get back on the roots, which I find hope on them when they take the time, especially to the core fans will see that as well, and they will love the MCU in a way that will make them appreciate them for staying, for being there for all the MCU projects and supporting them and having their back. They'll take the time eventually. To me, the Marvel's film was alright. They did something for the fans, not so much for the main characters for the most part. Carol was the only one who actually changed at the end. Mark learned some new information about Maria when the Marvel saw her memories and learned some form of communication regarding her friendship towards Carol. Yet Danvers didn't change regarding those two, the way they see each other. So Mark and Carol could have done a little bit more work on that. The film presented a difficult way to do all that because the film was stuck and had no clue on how to handle their past. Even if the film was successful, for example, I don't think we'll find a way to have an absolute solution towards this. And I suggest if Mark could find a way to understand Carol needing to be in space after the people who appeared after the blip, which was unexpected for the people to come back because they didn't know they would come back. And he suggested on how they could have done those two better regarding their replication of the past. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Does it make sense for you, or do you think could have done a little bit better with that? Carol changed the end due to her journey in the film because of her actions in Hala, which she helped people in that planet, where Kamala felt the same gain and here. The only difference is that she recruited Kate for the Avengers and had interest in approaching Cassie Lane later on after that conversation she had with Kate. Keep in mind that I came into watching this film with an open mind and absolutely wanted to care for these characters, however, and didn't really felt anything for them. There are different types of people that watch these films. We all see the same things different ways. So this is mostly about the MCU after Endgame, whether it's on Disney Plus or on the big screen. People watch these projects, see the projects in a collective sense, as in the quote, it's all connected quote. So they would see the same or similar project within themselves every sense. Basically, they will see nothing new when they see the projects. Basically, they will see the same MCU projects again and again. They will see a routine that doesn't change in their eyes or their minds. People who hate this film most likely hated what they've seen and see as if all one big mess, and vice versa, where the hardcore fans and the rest of the audience who sit back and enjoy the ride not caring or do care for the entire collection of the MCU would love it with a passion. There are also people who feel like they have to watch homework projects, basically watch other projects to understand what's really happening to enjoy it or love it because they want to do that, and they see nothing wrong with it and want more of the same stuff because they see the same thing. They enjoy the pattern that the MCU is headed, even though in behind the scenes of it all, Marvel Studios wants to get things right for everyone, and sometimes they try to please everyone, and sometimes aren't pleasing anyone. The people who review these MCU projects who actually care about the MCU and want them to succeed, perhaps or close to call it quits because after so much hoping and chances, prefer to see it for what it is, review these films as individual projects as if they're not really connected. However, they are in the back of the mindset, understanding that these are connected projects in one way or another, and regardless if the Marvel spotlight is a day or not, they may stop in the future and never review or give out their time or money towards this new Marvel series ever again, because they'll probably feel exhausted of the way the MCU has been. A future successor on the Marvel Cinematic Universe can succeed if they treat it well with actual storytelling and story crafting within the universe, and the Marvel's film actually showed potential. However, too many people didn't really succeed in their eyes, and they mostly blame Disney's perspective on all this because they're the ones in charge and all this. Perhaps if Disney and Marvel Studios wants to succeed with the Marvel Cinematic Universe or the Disney projects of future, I believe it's want to look back and see what made them grow and succeed and made them grow in the first place. One last side note, due to strike happening now, I think the Marvels would have had a different outcome. It would have changed course of how successful the film would be in the box office. I believe it would have had a similar outcome where if it didn't have, would have had low numbers on the box office, because not a lot of people were actually looking forward to this film anyways, especially with how the trailers were presented when we saw them. If you're interested in seeing my Patreon, you can do so down in the description below for more information to choose what other type of TV shows or films you want me to react to. Search it out, no pressure. And that's my review. I understand if you disagree with me, it's understandable here. There's a lot of stuff here we can discuss in comments in a civil way. Take care, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.